So I'm working out some issues on the 58 fender today. You see on this end here, looks like they ran over a curve. This is right over where the tire would have been. They smashed this in pretty far. So I unfolded it as best I can, and you can see a line here. This is, I guess, somebody's repair. So then the bottom, I guess they made that out of body filler because it's non-existent. So here's how I fixed this area. I tried to find a fender. Prices were high, plus shipping, plus media blasting, plus repairs. It was going to be too much. So I thought it'd be easier just to fix the fender we have. Of course, I did the old template trick that gave me the radius that I needed. I happened to have another customer with a 58 also, so I was able to use this one to verify that my template was correct. Make sure the radius is right before I go too crazy. So because I got to fold this around this edge to get up and meet up in these holes here, this kind of goes around to the inner fender well. I got a little trick I do to make that curved flange. You're gonna laugh. I got this old chisel and I rounded off the top, made it kind of thick so I don't make too many high points if I can help it. And I just put this thing in my vise and tighten that thing up, and I lay out my lines on the sheet metal, the little radius. Then I'll lay this line I make right on the edge of that chisel. Then I'll hit the front side with the hammer, and it just gives me a little tiny bow, just enough. And then I work this all the way across the chisel, and you can kind of tell where you're at because you'll see these witness marks, the little high spots. That'll tell you where the chisel is, so you can go up or down. At this point, the piece is still pretty forgiving, so you can hammer out any mistakes. If you go too high or too low, you can just course correct as you go. Then eventually you'll end up with this this radius. That'll be the inside of the fender. So it's pretty close to what's original. So I kept comparing what I'm doing to the good fender that belongs to my other customer's car, so that I know when I set this on the fender I'm repairing, it's going to be as close as humanly possible. So I'll trim this out and I'll tack that on this fender, and then I will test fit it on the car and make sure that the part that I made blends in nicely and looks right when you stand back and look at it, and also that it attaches to the inner fender well right. And if all goes well, then I'll remove the fender again, finish the welding, body work, prime, set it on one more time, and call the painter.